La 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 la.
Don't get yourself nut.
Okay, sounds like we have it fixed now. I'm not sure what happened there. I didn't realize we were having audio problems until someone mentioned it. Um, okay, sorry about that, folks. I'm not really sure what went wrong, but I reset the settings in OBS, and it seems like the audio is coming through now. I do apologize for that. I'm not sure why it got messed up. But if you can hear me now, and we're all good, I'm presently in the process of making a divine weapon to bring into the catacombs. I don't know if we'll be able to fully upgrade it, but it should be decent at any rate.
Well, music need.
Oh, actually, I need more souls. Let's use these. That ought to be enough. Alright, so we're going to take that Zweihander to a Divine Zweihander. And then we will reinforce again. Okay, so +3 Divine Zweihander. It does have more damage than the Claymore as a base, so we should be alright with that.
Don't get yourself killed. Night.
Okay, and yeah. So some weapons, like the Astora's Straight Sword, which has that Divine modifier, also have a Faith requirement. But a weapon that you convert into a Divine weapon in that manner does not gain a Faith requirement, although the magic damage it does gains scaling with the Faith stat, and lowers its scaling with your regular stats. However, depending upon the type of weapon it is, it can still do decent damage, even if you haven't invested in Faith. Yeah, oh no, we want to warp back to Firelink. Because we just got the fast travel at the end of the last stream, so I kind of forgot we had it now. Oh, that's going to be embarrassing. Upload that to YouTube in the first 10 minutes, which is nothing but silence. First 6 or 7 minutes at any rate. Alright, so this is going to drop us out of fast roll, but now we have a holy sword. Pick up.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well and wide awake. Do not treat me like an old withering snake.
And what I'm going to do
I am pleased to see you.
to start off is I'm actually going to do what I mentioned. It's not usually a good trade, but because I don't really need the blue Titanite, I can get some more green Titanite shards this way. But I only had the one, but...
Chosen undead, I remain here and await thee.
Yeah, beef jerky Carl's not looking so great. How many did I get for the one? I got 4. Okay, so that's a little better exchange rate than I thought, actually. But anyways, now that we've taken care of that, we're going to head into the catacombs properly this time. And we're going to ignore the skeletons because we already fought them. Before I remembered I didn't have a divine weapon, and then we had the audio problems, and it was just kind of a mess. So, take 2. So when you reach the catacombs, you find more skeletons. that are not only tougher. Yeah, you've also got dark magic exploding skulls. Yeah. But these skeletons, they reform. Unless you kill them with a divine weapon. The other way to prevent them from respawning is to kill the necromancer responsible. And throughout the catacombs there are several necromancers, each of which is responsible. Okay, so even at plus 3, that is good enough to one-shot them. You find the necromancer responsible, and then the skeletons will stop getting back up after you kill them. But if you use a divine weapon, they won't get back up in the first place. First necromancer, I may have actually... no, he's still here. No, I was thinking of a different playthrough where I got one of my favorite weapons from down here before actually starting the rest of the game proper. Alright. We're gonna want to kindle that bonfire so that we can have more Estus going through the catacombs. And also so we can get rid of Beef Jerky Carl. Now, because of the layout of the catacombs, there's a few shortcuts you can take if you're willing to take the fall damage. But I'm going to show you the slow and steady route through the catacombs and where all the necromancers are. Alright, so the bonfire's kindled, and we're on our way. So yeah, killing the necromancers prevents the skeletons from respawning in the future, but you take the divine weapon to them, and they don't respawn here and now. And since that's enough to one-shot them on the strong attack, I'm probably just going to stick with that. Oh, I have 11,000 souls. Let's actually not risk so many all at once here. I think that might be enough for a level or two. And... no, actually I was wrong. That's not enough for a level. But if we use one of these, it will be. I think. Yep, just enough. Alright. So, the greatsword needed 28 strength, so let's just even these out. Whoops, wrong way. Oh, what the hell was that, Carl? Come on. And we're getting invaded already. Because of course we are. So yeah, I guess Beef Jerky Carl's gonna come back. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna... I don't know if he's a hacker, but the Fury Sword that he's wielding is pretty popular right now. And yes, we're gonna infect you because we're trying to progress and you're getting in the way like a douchebag. Okay, moving on. And hopefully in the future, a Blade of the Dark, or yeah, a Blade of the Dark Moon will go and fuck up his shit. These skeletons, they're pretty motivated. They like to leap at you. And when we get a hold of that necromancer, let's peg him. Ah, damn. Alright, well, let's get the skeletons out of our way before we chase him down. Because that one in particular likes to run off. Hey, come on. Yeah, the Zweihander is a really, really heavy-hitting weapon. It'll break a lot of enemies with a single hit. And it's very heavy, too. Now that right there, the Lucerne, is actually the weapon that I use in PvP after I got accustomed to it in Dark Souls 3. It hasn't worked quite as well because of the different combat mechanics here in Dark Souls 1, but I do like it. I do like the way it wields, I do like the damage it does. It's pretty good. Now, where did that neck... Oh, okay, so... Whoa. Ah, jeez. Alright. God damn it. Okay, that's enough of that. Now these other guys are in the way. The archer. This is getting annoying. Please don't do that. Alright, that's enough of that. Thank you. Alright, so we can't cross that bridge because it's all pointy. And these guys... No, please don't do that. Yeah, and that next Necromancer has control of all of these skeletons, so we can't get to him just yet. But now, we'll get these guys out of the way. And I do like this Y-hander as well. I really like the way it handles. It's way heavier than the Claymore, though. And the Claymore's been good to us so far, but it's kind of why I picked it. It's because it was a weapon I was familiar with, as opposed to the Claymore. Which is a little more forgiving than this Y-hander, because it's not as heavy and not as slow. Ow. Alright, now we have Tweedledee and Tweedledum here. One more. I said one more. Well, it was supposed to be one more hitting both of them. Do you mind not doing that when you're not invited there, pal? Thank you. Now, there's a lot of paths here in the catacombs that can take you all over the place. And this guy's pointing one of them out. So down here, we got some... Ow. Come here. I want... damn it. The spikes got in the way. I wanted those crystal lizards. Yeah, and those spike traps, unfortunately, are one of the things in the game where there's really no observation of it. Like, you can't tell at a glance that the spikes are going to come out of that statue. And we missed out on those crystal lizards, too, because of it, which is great. But when we reach the top of the ladder, we'll find some goodies. Or not. This might be a different one than I was thinking of. Yes, this is a different one I was thinking of, because we're back here, where we pushed that switch. And those crystal lizards, unfortunately, aren't going to respawn unless we reload the area, but we're not using a weapon that needs Twinkling Titanite anyways, so it's alright. But now that we're past that Necromancer, let's start carving our way through the next section. Yeah, you gotta be careful, because that one shoots spikes too. Yeah, I think I'm going to just stick with the heavy attack, because as nice as the broad sweeping is, a lot of the skeletons, yeah, they're flying all over the place like that, so let's just not bother. Down here, we're gonna have some more skellies. Because there are always more skeletons. Oh! Well, that was rude. And yes, the other thing is, the skeletons can and will parry you. And they're not very nice. Ah, fucking hell. Yeah, the catacombs are a bit of a hassle. Which is why a lot of people like to take the shortcuts, but like I said, I'm here to show you the necromancers and the not shortcut path. So, speaking of necromancers, well, there's the switch. Where did there was a necromancer in here. He seems to have run off. And one of the shortcuts is down that way. You can get some treasure, but we'll come back to that. Because now that we've pressed that switch, this door is open. And out on this little balcony, you can see a couple of little ledges that you can step onto. And here you can grab the Great Scythe, and you can find another pratfall, which will drop you down here past the section with... Oh, great. Anyway. Oh, I might have a hard time getting back up from here, come to think of it. Okay. Because if I go back up here, it's going to be the other spiky bridge and the fog wall. Yeah, so I'm going to have to find the other way back up, because that... Yeah, I just went the wrong way. Because now we can't go back that way. And we're going to have to find another way. There's a necromancer up there. You can see his lantern. Well, we got him, so... Where's the other one? There you are. Come on, guy. Quit it. Stop it. Ah, damn it. Not playing nice. Come off it. Well, at least he was nice enough to give me a soft humanity. And I missed my fast roll. It was nice of them to line up, at least. Yeah, down there's where the other fog wall we just saw was. But these guys decided to be obnoxious. So we're gonna have to get there again. Yeah. And sometimes they'll break apart when they dive at you. And then you gotta wait for him to get back up and then beat the crap out of him. So yeah, if you're not... why did you do that? Yeah, if you're not doing it quickly, the catacombs can quickly become tedious. Because of all the skeletons you have to fight your way back through each time. But killing the necromancers does... Hey. Don't start shit, will ya? Yeah, that's the other problem with this Y-Hander, is we haven't been leveling my stamina up enough, so it's costing me so much to swing it. Okay. Okay. That's them dealt with. And instead of dropping down for the Great Scythe like we did before, I'm going to take the actual way, and here's the other side of that bridge. But now, what we can do is grab another bonfire. Let's grab another bonfire. And look, somebody else is making their way through here. Now, I'm going to have to be real careful now, because I guarantee you I'm going to get invaded as soon as I restore my humanity, or shortly thereafter, because the tedium here is why it is subject to a lot of griefers. Because that's where you're bound to find your griefers, is the places where it's more frustrating. Because that's what they want. They want to frustrate you even more than the game already does. Because one of the things that you can do, if you're a prick, is pull that switch out while somebody is on the bridge and flip it back, dropping them to their death. So be wary of that if you're going through the catacombs as a human. But at least we're not beef jerky anymore. So let's try this again, and we're near where we were, so we can... Oh, for goodness sake, guys, come on. Yeah, I definitely need to put my stamina up some more. Both for the load limit and just the fact that it's costing me so much to swing this thing. Those are mine. Yeah, but the worst is yet to come. Now, in this hallway, you can find a little secret passage, and that's where you find the Necromancer, but we also have this guy to deal with. Now, he's big and intimidating and can hurt, but he's not that difficult, as long as you can get behind him. The Dark Moon Seance Ring will allow you... will allow you to access an area, and while you have it equipped, you gain an extra attunement slot, so you can equip one more spell than you would be able to normally. So, it's a caster item. Here he is. Boom. And there we go. And when you, furthermore, when you go up this way, I've been human for a whole 3 minutes and I haven't gotten invaded. Spectacular. Yeah, and you may recognize... Oh no, that's a different set. The Tranquil Walk of Peace Miracle is the one that the stone giants were using before. Hey. And we're back up here. Somebody killed a Gravelord servant. Speaking of Gravelord servants, I'm going to show you how to join that covenant when I get there. I don't really want to fight these skeletons over again, so let's go back to the bonfire. Yeah, needed to wet my whistle a bit there. Now then, see, I always forget that one. So, let's move on. Now that the Necromancer is out of the way, we can keep going. And we march. There we go. Now we've cleared that out, so we don't need to go that way again. But we've got more floating heads to deal with, and more skeletons. Now, you can bait those things to kill the skeletons, but if you haven't killed the corresponding Necromancer, they will get back up, because they're not doing divine damage. Just like that. Whoa. Yeah, and they do a lot of damage, so you have to be careful. Now we're here again. And we are in the actual tombs. Now, do I have what I need? No, I do not have any yet, so we're going to have to go and get them. Down this passageway is another Titanite demon. And he is guarding 3 Eyes of Death. And you need at least 3 to make this work. And we're just gonna... We're gonna sit right down in here where it's safe. Because while you are in the coffin, it actually ignores you and doesn't hurt. Now, if you have at least 3 Eyes of Death when you nestle in this coffin, you wait about 30 seconds, and... wait for it. See, we're all nestled in snug, and... someone closes the lid on you. Yeah, look at that manly Carl chest. We are in the Tomb of the Giants. Specifically, we are in the boss arena for this man, Gravelord Nito, the first of the dead. However, when you arrive here in this fashion, through the sarcophagus, you do not provoke him. And in fact, you can pray to him and enter the Gravelord Servant Covenant. The rewards for which are his sword, which I've actually summoned a couple of people using it, and the Miracle Gravelord Sword Dance, which erupts a bunch of little swords that can inflict toxic on the ground. Now, you offer him Eyes of Death to rank up in the Covenant, and you can get an improved version of that miracle. But this covenant is only available so long as he is still alive, so to speak. And then if you want to get out, you can just get right back in here. And we are right back where we started. Yeah, and in the future, once you've already triggered that cutscene, the transition becomes a lot faster. And we're also going to get a move on so we don't provoke the Titanite demon. Because I don't really feel like fighting him right now. Large soul of a nameless soldier. And... boom. Yeah. And the skeletons here have a pretty high drop rate on both scimitars and falchions, so if you're looking for a good curved sword, which are dex-based weapons, you can find them here. Now this little pratfall leads to... can we see him from up here? Maybe we can't. There he is. It leads to a Black Knight who has just run off because he wants to try and find me and kill me. But before we deal with him, we got one last Necromancer to hit in the face. Or he could show up. Well then. That was unexpected. That Black Knight is wielding the Black Knight Great Axe, which is a powerful weapon. Oh, hey there. Alright, let's try that again. Wasn't expecting him to get there before I could deal with the Necromancer. Guess I wasn't giving him enough credit. I don't think I can make that jump. Not with mid-roll encumbrance. Yeah, and now that skeleton's gonna get back up because the explosion killed him instead of me. I'll let that get close and blow up so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Oh, that was close. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I'm gonna take cover for a sec. Hey, where did you come from? Okay. I'm gonna pot shot this guy to death. Oh, Black Knight's already here. Alright, so he's dealt with. And the item that he drops, because he was the last Necromancer, is the Skull Lantern, which will be necessary for getting through the next area. I don't want to charge in there because the Black Knight... You know what? We're going to go around. So this is where he spawns in normally. And here, we can grab a soul of a proud knight. And down there are easily the worst enemy in the game. Nobody likes the wheel skeletons. They suck, and everybody hates them. Because they can stun lock the shit out of you because they get so many attacks per rotation. Because they don't do a lot of damage per hit, but they will stun lock you like nobody's business. I don't know if I can actually crossbow. Nope, the angle is not sufficient for that. Oh, I hit that one. No, this isn't going to work. Now, thankfully, these ones are not tied to a Necromancer and will not respawn once you've managed to kill them. Hang on. Maybe if I got any firebombs? Can I throw one of those straight down? No. But he moved out, so now I can... Yeah, and there's 4 of them at a time. And then there's a few more later. So... yeah, we missed one. But it's fine. Whew. Yeah, I hate those guys. Alright. And now, we're gonna trigger these two. Yeah, you can see them off in the distance there, wandering gradually in this direction. So, the Black Knight is back through there. Shit, there's 3 of them. 3 more wheels. Alright. Yeah. Especially if you get one on either side of you, and they they pincer you. And that happens, basically. And now I'm kind of disappointed because I got that nice hit that killed 4 of them at once, and now they're all back again. Okay. So before we go back down there again, I'm going to show you the shortcuts. And in particular, one that leads you... Switch back to this white hammer. Excuse me. Yeah, I can hear one of them doing a continual roll trying to get to me, but he's just not. How did you not fall off? Oh, wait. Please fall off. Not me. Well, there goes all that souls in humanity. Why the hell didn't he fall off? Well, that would have been the shortcut if I'd have done it properly, which I didn't, because that skeleton decided to somehow actually successfully jump over the pit, which he never, ever has done before, to my knowledge. Or I've never seen him do it, so... what do you want? And now, I didn't get to the necromancer that I killed, so I hope that skull lantern is still there. If not, there is another place you can get one, but really prefer not. Can you fuck off, please? Oh, you know what? And then after that, I'm going the wrong way. That guy just didn't want to explode, I guess. To the path that I wanted to show you. So let's back up. This is taking way longer than I wanted. Because I had to show you everything, and had to deal with invaders, and skeletons being dumbasses, and making impossible jumps somehow. Hey now, don't do that. Because yeah, see, that is what normally happens, is he jumps and he falls off. So, I lost 16,000 souls and 2 soft humanity to a fluke. Alright, oh, fuck. I screwed that up. Okay, let's try that again. Come off it. No, we're just gonna... we can't. Alright, back to the claymore then. Yeah, see, that's what's supposed to happen, is they just fall off and die. Alright, so we take a couple steps forward, gently land on this platform, then this one, let me grab a green titanite shard, Then we take the rest of the way down. And then we drop through this little hole. And we meet someone else.
Be gone with you. You spoil my focus.
Yeah, I don't know why he sounds like that when he talks. Something about the compression of his audio. But for those of you familiar with the original game and not the remaster, you'll notice that there is now a bonfire here, and you can fast travel to it. So not only does this give you an access point a little closer to the boss of this area, but you can also access him as a smith right away. Speaking of... Ah, good, we can +5 it. Perfect.
What's that then? Need some smithing? Then produce me some wares.
So yeah, just like Andre, you can buy some building materials, some ammunition from him. A few more of those. More of those. Start stocking up. And then he can reinforce your weapon. And the modification is that he can make your weapons into fire element weapons. But only if you have green titanite, which I used making that divine weapon. So I guess we'll leave my crossbow, or rather my light crossbow as is.
If that'll be all, then be gone with you. You'll spoil my focus.
For whatever reason, I feel like he sounds a little bit like David Tennant, and I'm really not sure why I hear that in his voice, but... And we're going to kindle this bonfire as well, so we can get our 10 Estus going into the boss. Now, the trick with this bonfire is that it spawns you... the hole that he busted in the wall leads right to the wheel skeletons. This area here. So let's see if we can bait them in one at a time. Ow. Yeah. I really should have expected that. I'm going to unequip the Divine Zweihander now, because I don't really need it now. And we're beef jerky again. Maybe we can just grab these. But now we should be back to fast rolling. Come on, man. For fuck... No. No, just no. Oh, hello again. Oh, hello. Oh, lovely. This is going to work out excellent for everybody involved. And the archers are still behind me. This is going just great. I guess they fixed the glitch that causes them to roll out of the world when they come through here. Because they were able to follow me all the way. Ow! Ow! What the fuck? Where did he even come from? And they are fucking just... They are the worst. Hands down. Now, where's that black knight? Where? stop being a thing. Just stop. Just stop. Okay, no. Okay, well, let's lure the Black Knight away from the archers. And then we can deal with him separately. Why is there still another one? Okay. Yeah, the Black Knight, when he's not cornering you, is not as big of a deal. But fucking hell was that ridiculous. Yeah. And to get at that item, you need to drop down from up above, which is part of the shortcut process. But I'm getting sick of the catacombs, so we're just gonna go right ahead and we're just gonna go ahead to the boss now. I don't want to. Thankfully, this boss is not too terribly difficult. And I should have waited to sit my Estus before until after this, because there's going to be some fall damage. Oh, god damn it. And the skull lantern wasn't there anymore because the necromancer was gone, so I'm going to have to do the first section of the Tomb of the Giants in the dark. Alright, calm down. Okay. Now, through the fight, he will spawn duplicates of himself. And if you don't stay on top of them, they can be a problem. But in terms of him as an individual, he does not have a lot of HP. Where'd he go? So, a lot of people like to rush the catacombs and do this boss fight early to get access to the Rite of Kindling. The Rite of Kindling allows you to increase bonfires up to 3 times instead of just once, so you can have up to 20 Estus. And we got the Mask of the Child, which increases the regen rate of your stamina. I'm going to put that on because look at how friendly I am. Child Mask for Carl. It's also just a useful buff. And I was only wearing a sack on my head anyway, so... Alright, welcome to the Tomb of the Giants. It's dark in here. And if I had that skull lantern, it would not be so dark. But unfortunately, I died before I could pick it up from the necromancer, so now I'm going to have to go and get the other one. Yeah, and now we got big old skeletons. We're a bit tougher than the one... Ow. Bit tougher than the one from inside the necropolis. But not so tough we can't take them down. And, thankfully, there's no necromancers down here to respawn them. It's really a pain in the ass doing this in the dark. And that item we can't actually get to from here. Now that, over there, is the Demon Ruins, which you could also see after we beat the Quelaag boss fight. And we'll be going there eventually anyways. Okay, so him, and I'm taking the shortcuts here because doing it in the dark is a pain in the ass. Alright, and someone has been leaving those sparkling stones to act as guide markers. But we will talk to him in a moment. Because first, we want to tag this bonfire. Because this bonfire is a warp point, is a fast travel point. So you want to make sure that you get to this bonfire after you beat Pinwheel before you go anywhere else. So we're going to reverse hollowing. And then we're going to kindle this bonfire. So now we normally kindle once for 10, but now we can kindle again for 15, and once more for 20. Ta-da! Also, we have some souls, so let's grab a level. I need more stamina. Alright. And we need to talk to that guy. Well, I guess we don't need to. We can go on our own, but talking to this guy kind of points you in the direction of the skull lantern.
Good day. You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the catacombs? Are you a cleric or something?
I am not a cleric. I am Carl.
No? Really? Then I'd have no qualms telling you. There's a fine stash of treasure right down that hole. I found it first, but, well, we're friends now, so I'll split it with you. In any case, have a look. It'll shimmer you blind.
Well, I don't see the harm in just looking.
This is what I do, my friend. The trinkets I'll be stripping off your corpse, that's the real treasure.
Well, that just wasn't very nice. But now that we're down here, there is in fact treasure. A couple of large souls, and the skull lantern. Now, if you kill all the necromancers in the catacombs, you're guaranteed to get a skull lantern drop, but if you don't, if you shortcut your way through, you can still pick one up down here. Ta-da! Now we have some light. Oh, and hello, there's another person down here.
You're no hollow, are you? Thank goodness. Please be careful. There are two fierce hollows not far from here. They were once brave knights, my former escorts. Who would let such strong spirits be hollowed so? Heavens, is there nothing at all to be done?
You can see them in that light over there. So yeah, this is Ray of Thurland, who was, whoa. And we got lots of Estus now, so I will. But yeah, they're also clerics, so they can heal themselves. Or use force for knockback. Now, what's worth noting is that when you have the Skull Lantern out, it does provide some protection in the same way a shield would, just not a very good shield. So yeah, sorry Vince, sorry Nico, but yeah, you started it. Now where'd she go?
You banished those two hollows, did you? It pains me to think of the trouble my failings have caused. I am certain that both Vince and Nico are grateful to you. Thank you so very much. Here, These belonged to them. You deserve them more than I.
So, now that you've rescued her, Ray of Thurland will relocate up to the surface near not in Firelink Shrine, but in fact in the church in the Undead Parish, not far from Andre. And like Petrus in the early game, she will sell you miracles, but she's got a larger stock and in fact sells them to you cheaper because you rescued her.
I am certain that both
Alright, now there's that. Oh, come on. But now we have bone pillars. They didn't like us taking that chunk. And speaking of that white titanite chunk, I'm going to show you what you can do with that. Whoops, as soon as I get rid of these guys. And these guys will actually also drop white titanite chunks as well. Man, there's 4 of them? Yeah, you want to be careful. Because if you're too close to these guys, they can slap you around quite a bit. That's them out of the way. And now this is the direction that Vince and Nico came at us from. And there's more of them. Thankfully, ow. Spoke too soon. But it is actually a little bit easier to deal with them in a straight line. Damn it. Alright. I'm back down to mid-roll again. I should put more endurance so I can keep my fast roll with the... excuse me, with the Skull Lantern equipped. Child Mask might also have something to do with it. What does it weigh compared to the sack? Twice as much, although, what? And then through here, we can come out and come back to the bonfire. Let's top up. And before we actually go ahead, there's a couple of things we want to do before we go to the boss of this area. First of which is have a little chat with Patches about that kicking incident.
Oh, you. Well, let's just calm down. Talk about things. I did you wrong, but I didn't mean it. These temptations, they can, well, overcome me. You know what I mean, don't you? Please, forgive me. You and me, we're jolly undead outcasts, aren't we?
What do you think, chat? Should we forgive him? Play the Jeopardy theme. Anyone? Want to weigh in? All right, I guess I'll be a nice Carl and forgive him.
Oh, brilliant. A second chance. Wonderful. I had a feeling you'd understand. I did. But, if I were in your shoes... who knows what I'd have done. But now we're friends again. Eh?
Yeah, so he won't kick you off again, and in fact, if you spare him, he will, after the boss of this area is defeated, return to Firelink Shrine as a merchant. He's still kind of a dick, though, but whatever. And the mask that I'm wearing, he can actually sell you the other 2 masks, the Mask of the Mother and the Mask of the Father. The Mask of the Mother increases your HP. The Mask of the Father increases your weight limit. Yeah, I need more endurance. But first, we're going to head in here, where all these big-ass skeletons are. And we're going to get something to make use of that white titanite and further do some upgrading. Now, this part is tricky because it's hard to see all the skeletons, and there's a bunch of them all in one place. And they can flatten you pretty hard. Like that. But if you can manage to get past this cluster of big old skeletons, you can get the large divine ember, which can let you ascend a divine weapon all the way up to +10. And a +10 divine weapon is the equivalent of a +15 normal weapon in terms of how the remastered version uses weapon rankings to determine invasion mechanics. Oh shit, my souls are down there too. I was kind of hoping they'd be at the top here. Hey now, be nice. And I'm stuck. Yeah. I was really hoping those would be on top. Somebody saying that my crossbow and claymore is an evil combo. I don't know, I haven't really had much luck against invaders so far. Alright. We're gonna try this again. Because I kind of want to get that Divine Zweihander upgraded a little bit more. Because it's gonna make the boss of this area a little easier. Because Nito is also a necromancer. So during his boss fight, he will summon skeletons that will continue to get back up unless you kill them with a divine weapon. And it is so much easier to manage his boss fight if you have a divine weapon. Let's see if we can bait the skeletons over here so the rest of them don't rush in like that. As soon as I step to this corner. Alright. Okay, I managed to roll away that time. And that's what bleeding buildup does to you. Although I'm not sure the bleeding damage is actually what killed me. Okay, well, I still kind of want those back. Yeah, so that whole section dealing with those guys all at once, it's a pain in the ass. Because they bum rush you like nobody's business. So if you want the large divine ember, you gotta work for it. And where did my stuff end up? Over there. Actually, you know what? Can you lock on, please? Can you lock on, please? Apparently not. Not a lot of damage, but I'll take it. Yeah, and doing this is, okay, so that's one. I'm gonna be throwing my camera all over the place as I do this. But I have to stay, or try to stay, locked on to be able to hit them at all from this angle. So I do apologize if this is making anybody nauseous. But I don't want to lose my souls again, and I want that large divine ember, so... And I can't do this just by jumping down there. He needs to stop blocking. Okay, I think it's just him now, so... Alright. Please don't do that. Why did you take the lock off? There. Okay. Now then. How many more are there? I think there's 2 left. Why are you taking my lock on away? And these guys are too big to backstab. Okay, that's him done. And I think there's one more. Or maybe not. Maybe we got them all. Hooray! We got them all! Hey! And there was much rejoicing. Alright. Apologize for that. But yeah, that one's a little bit tricky. Now we can climb on up out of here. Ow. Ow. Okay. Why aren't you dead? Please be dead. I really don't need that, thank you. Why is that not connecting? Okay. I'm gonna climb up this ladder. Another reason why I wish they had introduced the fast climbing, so it was easier to not get pegged by arrows while I'm doing this. Now we gotta fight even more giant skeletons in the dark. Although not quite as many of them. In fact, I think I can bait this guy. Okay, got him. Your turn. Okay. Come on. Be nice. Yeah, I can't dodge roll or nothing when I'm in the reloading animation. Come on now. Great. I don't know why he didn't get hit by that. Alright, so I guess we're gonna have to do this again. Because I need those souls to level up to get my endurance up to the point where I can fast roll in this setup. I gotta... come on, don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh, for goodness. Damn it! Okay, well, I guess we're not getting those souls back. So, time to waste a bunch of these to make up for it. That is really, really not fun. You know what? Fuck it. That shit's not really worth anything anyways. Just trying to show you where all the treasure is, but apparently the game doesn't want to cooperate. So, we'll continue on to probably the second most annoying enemy in the game after the skeleton wheels. The beast skeletons. As they will never fail to interrupt you if you're not using a shield. And they attack really fast, too. And I don't think he fell off far enough to die. I'm not that lucky. And then through here, in addition to more beast skeletons, we gotta contend with another archer and... really hope he spawns proper. Well, it's not a... yeah, there he is. Another Black Knight. Alright, and you... hey. Oh, come off it. I was behind him. Really should have been a backstab, not just a normal attack. And now the skeleton beast that we got out of the way is going to be back. And we didn't kill the Black Knight, so he's going to still be there. So I was having all kinds of generous drops from NPCs early in this run-through, but apparently today is just Dick 10 over day. Yeah, that's bullshit, and you know it, pal. Knock it off. Okay. I'm gonna grab these souls back. The Black Knight to follow us up here. Fuck's sake. Preferably without aggroing either of these beast skeletons. Where the hell is he? Sometimes he can fall off the ledge and get stuck down near the other bonfire. And then you gotta deal with him there. Or sometimes he will show up while you're fighting this guy and just generally be obnoxious. Alright, so that skeleton's out of the way. And then we are gonna skip the beast skeletons by coming down here. Not there. No, that's where we just came down. No. Where the hell is nothing where I think it is? Oh, hello. There you are. Great. Now the other problem with the skill lamp... Why am I not getting the backstabs? Come on. E? Oh, god damn it! And he's still not dead. Why did he have to fall down there? Why can't he just stay where he's supposed to? Actually, before I go any further... God damn it, my souls are still over there. Yeah, this one is unavoidable. Oh, he's dealt with. Yay, he fell off far enough to die. Fuck that guy. Okay. So, let's see if Black Knight comes along anywhere. I don't actually know where his original spawn point even is anymore. Because he never seems to want to stay in the right place. Probably means he's down here. Yep. Alright, come on out. You're not supposed to be down here anyways. You're supposed to be dead up there before I have to come and deal with this shit. Thank you. What the heck? Why are you not dead yet? Okay, now that he's dealt with, I got my souls back, we're gonna head back to the bonfire, and we're gonna go pay Andre a visit. I'm sorry for the misery and the frustration today, folks. For some reason, the Tomb of the Giants is just being more problematic than usual.
What a brilliant ember you have there. I've only heard legends of such specimens. The embers used for the secret rites of divine blacksmiths. Perhaps you could lend it to me. I've long dreamed of forging divine weapons.
Sure thing. You're my buddy, Andre. You're nice to me, unlike the dicks down there.
Andre of Astora never disappoints, I assure you.
Alright, so we are going to take our Divine Zweihander up to +6. And then we can probably get it to +8. Alright.
Don't get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
Okay. So now we have that for facing the boss down there. And back to the Tomb of the Giants. Now that the Black Knight is dealt with, this should be a little easier. But I'm going to take a quick restroom break before we chug on to the boss and just clear my head a little. Okay, and we're back. I apologize for that. Normally can hold it in a little better while the stream is going. But anyways, let's press on. What level am I? Only 54. I have beaten Nito at a lower level once before, but I think only once before, so I guess we'll see how that goes. And I think I had a fully upgraded weapon at that time too, so this is going to be interesting. Please don't do that. Goodbye. Okay. So we're just going to skip the archer this time and go down this way. And we can just sneak by those beast skeletons to get over here. And I don't have enough to level up further. Maybe I can squeeze one out of these. Yeah, I think that's just enough for one. What do we have for weight right now? 65, half of that is 32 and a half. So 16 points. Oh, that might actually be enough to fast roll. Nope, still in mid roll. Well, the easy fix for that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this on. There we go. Favor and Protection gives you an increase to your stamina, weight load, and HP. But if you ever take it off, it breaks and you can't use it again. But it's worth using, because you can always swap out your second ring if you really need more stuff. But the extra HP and stamina is almost always worth it. Unless you're a caster. But most melee builds do like the Ring of Favor and Protection. Oh, I want to kindle this bonfire just so we don't have to deal with the beast skellies. Oops. Oh, goddamn, I'm running low here. Oh, guess we'll see how this goes. Because we might still be having some griefers down here. And one more. Yeah. Once you've gotten this bonfire kindled, you can actually skip having to fight just about anybody else until you get to the end of the dark section. Like that guy, you can just run under him. Grab that. The ones up there. There are more items up there, but with the delays and problems we've been having getting to this point, I'm just going to skip them because none of them are really all that important. Except maybe the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring, but really, if you just want more souls, you can get more souls. You can grind and you can farm. It makes it a little easier, but like I said, I'm just not going to bother. Alright, back to the crossbow. And down here, there's actually an NPC invasion. But because he's an NPC, we can just get behind him and wreck his shit. Hey. None of that now. Now, Leroy, you can actually summon in the catacombs to help you with Pinwheel. I just wasn't in a position to do so because I wasn't human and I was at the wrong bonfire and generally kind of not in good shape to do so. But if you kill the Dark Spirit Paladin Leroy, you get his weapon and shield, Grant and Sanctus. Sanctus has an effect. Now, it is a shield that scales with faith, so if you don't have its faith requirement, you can't use it to its fullest extent. But, oh shit, I triggered the Crystal Lizard early. God damn it. Batting 1,000 with the Crystal Lizards today. Why? Well, like I said, Carl needs no shirt. Carl needs no shield. Yeah, the damage on the crossbow is starting to taper off, though. I should get the, yeah, next task after this. Or maybe I should have done it before this, considering, but... Next task after this is definitely going to be getting my weapons to plus 15. Please don't do that. Oh, for fuck's sake. And I want those souls back because Leroy dropped a lot of them. Alright, we need to go back to the lantern. Yeah, you just stick to the wall and you can skip. Oh, fuck. Oh, I don't know that I can handle a vagrant right now. Vagrants appear when somebody else dies in that area. It doesn't happen very often, but a vagrant will spawn if another person has died in that spot online somewhere. Oh, hi, I can get this guy now. Yay. Twinkling Titanite. Okay. Yeah, Crystal Lizard's one soul. Oh, come off it. Okay, sit down. Gonna... Okay, that's him dealt with. Now for this one. Come on now. Okay. Take a sip. And... why did that hit me through the corner? Now this one looks like it's going to be in your way, but it'll actually avoid. But you want to watch out for his buddy there. And in fact, this might even do more damage at this point. And that heavier... oh, that works out. Yeah, I think this is actually doing more damage than the Claymore because I had the large Divine Ember. Okay. So, as much as I love my trusty Claymore, we're going to need the Divine Weapon for this boss fight. And it's actually doing more damage right now anyways. And here we have the leftover pinwheel. Now, they're not that tough, but when you got their magic shots coming at you from all directions, it can hurt. Thankfully, these skeletons don't actually obstruct you. They just crumble as soon as you step on them. Soul of a hero. Now, but if you go down into the water, then you'll have to deal with these little baby skeletons, and they can inflict toxic, which is generally unpleasant. And speaking of which, I'm gonna put on the blooming purple moss clumps. Now, thankfully, they don't have a lot of HP, and wide sweeping attacks do them in pretty well. Okay, that's him taken care of. We'll grab that in a second. And you can farm those guys for the masks. But the most important treasure here, it's tucked away in this corner, is a white Titanite slab. And the white Titanite slab is used for taking a divine or a divine weapon to plus 10 or an occult weapon to plus 5. And we don't have any more white Titanite chunks, so we can't really get to plus 9 in the first place. Yeah, see, we stepped in the water and now these guys are coming to hang out. we're just gonna sneak. Nope, that's not where I thought it was. Forget it. I was trying to be thorough, but this place is just kicking my ass a little too hard. So, let's just take care of it. Alright. I should be able to handle this. I equip my blooming purple. Yeah, because Nito can inflict toxic on you. Alright. Well, here goes nothing. And once again, you gotta take falling damage before the boss. Now, if you hear that screaming, it means he's about to use that attack. So you want to be ready to avoid it. Now, thankfully, these guys aren't too much tougher than the ones in the catacombs, so once we get rid of them, Nito should be not so bad. Okay, there. And I mistimed that. But it's fine. Yeah. I said it's fine. We're fine. I can definitely handle this. We're doing enough damage. Except, I'm not getting my dodge rolls right. Alright, sip. And now, there we go. Okay. Yeah. If you get in real close with him, you may actually be able to duck his swings better, but then he'll do this sludge wave attack, and if you're close to him, it'll do a lot of damage and toxic. There we go. Yeah, because I put the Zweihander back on, I'm back to mid-roll again, but it's fine. It's doing better than the... Shit. Alright, we have time to sip, and now. Damn it. Now. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. So we're just gonna get up in his business. Whoa. Yeah, if you're really up and close to him, he'll swing over you. But you just gotta watch for that toxic wave. Now, you can actually use that to your advantage, because if you haven't put down the smaller skeletons, that toxic wave can kill them for you. Back up a step. Heal off that toxic. Alright, we got this. Yeah, if I had those skeletons running around, this would be way harder. Alright, one more. Come on. No. One more. There he goes. Alright. Yeah, I went for Nito first because he actually does... if you're set up properly, he does tend to be the easiest of the Great Lords to deal with. So, we got his Lord Soul. And we're going to get a buttload of souls for killing him. 60,000. And tucked away here in the corner, we can find the equipment of Paladin Leroy. His armor set. Now, the reason why I didn't venture into the back of the cave while I was fighting him is because there are giant skeletons here. And unlike most of the other giant skeletons, these ones will actually respawn during the fight. But now, as you can see, the sarcophagus is empty, Nito's dead, and I can no longer make offerings to the Gravelord Servant Covenant. But now there's a bonfire here that will get us out of here. So we are first going to spend those souls before I do something stupid and lose them all again. So we're going to put our endurance up, and then a little more damage, I think. Yeah, that should do. Alright, and now we should be able to take that off. And we can get rid of that. And we don't need those. Now we should be back to fast roll. Okay, cool. So, in order to upgrade your weapons past +10, you need a very large ember, or a large divine or flame ember. The large divine ember, I showed you where to get it, with some trepidation. So the next thing that we're going to do is go and get the very large ember, I think. That took longer than I was hoping, so we might not do it in this stream. But we do have one Lord Soul now, so that's one of the 4 that we need. And we took care of Pinwheel, so we've got the Rite of Kindling. So we're in better shape for stuff going forward. So first, actually I think I can probably squeeze that in. So let's go back to Firelink Shrine and do something that I should have done before I tried to face the Blight Town. And yeah, we got a few more humanity thanks to Leroy, so we're going to use a couple more of these and kindle up Firelink Shrine itself. Because any shrine with a Fire Keeper will automatically be kindled once, but if you want to take it further, you have to do it yourself. And we did say this was going to be an all bosses playthrough anyway, so... Alright, so what level am I at now? 60. That's pretty good. So... First and foremost...
Ah, oh, you. Have you seen the lady? Oh, blast, where might she be? And would she be safe?
Alright, well, let's go and pay her a visit before we move on. Now that she's out of the catacombs, she's right here.
Hello. I will never forget what you did. I am deeply indebted, for it was not within my power to save Vince or Nico. I cannot thank you enough. In case you have not heard, I am Rhea of Thorland. I only wish there was some way I could help you. But I am inexperienced and I only know the art of miracles. If that could be of any help, speak to me again. I would be most pleased if that was so. May we discuss miracles then?
So yeah, you can learn the prayer gesture from her. And you can re-enter the Way of White Covenant, but you can do that at bonfires now anyway, so there's no point. And the Divine Blessing that she can sell you will, again, fully restore your HP and cure any status problems. And then she's got a greater selection of miracles than Petrus did, including Wrath of the Gods and Magic Barrier. But again, we don't have a faith, we're not a cleric, but she can also sell you a talisman if you don't have one already.
Vince and Nico were fooled by a lout named Hatches and turned into hollows. My prayers did them no good. It is my ignorance, my frailty that has sealed their fates. Perhaps Petrus realized my weakness all along, and thus made the decision to abandon me. I can hardly blame him now.
Oh, he abandoned you, did he? Well, let's go have a chat with him. Carl may not need a shirt or shield, but he does have a need to pay his respects to the people who are nice to him. Like that undead woman selling moss, or this nice cleric, who was a bit of a jerk at first, but after we saved her, she's quite grateful. So let's have a chat there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself. Pay me no mind.
Oh, he won't even let me talk to him.
Oh, so
Well. Alright, well, anyways. I don't have any business learning miracles. I could have sworn he had something else to say. Anyways. So, taking this elevator up, you can actually step off it right here. And roll onto this post. Make your... Oh, hold on. We gotta grab that first. Because that is the Undead Asylum 2nd floor west key. And we'll just go up again. And we'll roll off onto the pillar. Oh, and in case you didn't spot it before, there's the giant crow that brought us here in the first place. And if you ever want to get back to the Undead Asylum, pay a visit to her nest. And it does take a little bit for her to recognize, but once again, on subsequent attempts like the coffin in the catacombs, on subsequent attempts it does go a little bit faster. Whee! Oh yeah. Flying in style. So, back to the Northern Undead Asylum. And I don't really want to deal with the flash mobs, so I'm just gonna do this the easy way. Hey now. Oh, come on. Sit down. Alright, that's him dealt with. I don't want to waste humanity kindling this one, but we'll tag it anyways. Because we can warp out if we need to. Oh, did I never open this door? Huh. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to go around then. I guess I forgot to open that. Which I should have realized when I was going back and watching the previous streams. But in this hallway, there is now a Black Knight standing guard. Now, I don't know how close you have to be for him to come at you, but I can take him. Yeah, we should be fine. There we go. That's done it. And he will always drop a red Titanite chunk, and he has a chance to drop his sword as well. So, there's a familiar face. Oscar is up and about again. Unfortunately, he is not in his right mind, and he does not recognize us. So, unfortunately, you gotta put him down. But if you do so, you can get his crest shield. So yeah, this is where we first found him before. And I think that, yeah, the iron ball is back, so just open this up here. So we're just gonna get out of the way of that. Now, these hollows are actually a little bit stronger than they were when you were here during the tutorial section of the game. I'm not sure what that hit. Okay. And then there's actually 2 of these guys now. But they're not difficult at this stage of the game. Alright, and the west key opens that door, which gives you access to this staircase, which you couldn't get up before, with a rusted iron ring. And the rusted iron ring lets you move quickly through swampy or watery areas, which would have been helpful when we were in when we were in the bottom of Blighttown. But anyways, we got one more thing to get here before we take on a boss. I think we'll have just enough time to squeeze it in. Yeah, I'm not going to use my Estus because I don't want to kindle that bonfire. I'm going to save it. So for this one, you have to go all the way back. Now, when I say watery areas, this also counts as a watery area. So if I had the rusted ring on, I wouldn't be slowed by that. And so we have come here to deal with somebody that I pointed out at the very beginning of this stream in there. We're going to go kick his ass, and then we'll call it a day. But first, we got another Black Knight guarding our cell. Apparently they weren't happy about us escaping, so somebody else showed up. Yeah, I need to remember to attack after he attacks. That's fine, we got this. Oh, cool, he dropped his shield. But Carl needs no shield. So if you go all the way back to the very beginning of the game, you can get a peculiar doll. And we're going to need that to access an optional area of the game, because there's a boss there, and like I said, we're doing all of the bosses on this run. So we're going to tag the bonfire one last time. So we'll respawn at it just in case I screw this up. And now, if you're wondering how we get to that guy, the floor was not in great shape after the Asylum Demon fell on it before. Oh, I should have killed those 2 first. Hang on. Ow, shit. Yeah. That's the trick with this boss in particular, is those explosions. But one thing that the remaster has in spades is better definition of radiuses of effect. So this boss, who was a bit of a hassle in the Prepare to Die edition, is a little easier to deal with now that you can see where his explosion is going to happen a little more clearly. Now, when you see him wind that up, you want to get behind him and back up, and then come in and hit him in the butt, just like before. Alright, And then, yeah, once you're in the good position where you can get away from those explosions, it's a lot easier to just go in and out and poke him to death. In the butt. Now, if you're up in his business, he will sometimes jump and try to slam on you. That one you also want to back up a little bit. But if you get him into a loop of doing this, you can actually do quite a bit of damage and make short work of the fight. Whoopsies. And back up. Yeah, he'll do this. And if you get too close, even a little bit after he's done that animation, you can get hit by the knockback. Yeah, but it's a lot easier to see the explosion on that attack. Now, in the remaster, it's much more clearly defined, and thereby easier to know how far it reaches, and how hard, or if you're going to get hit by it or not. Uh-oh. That one's probably going to hit me. Yep. That was my fault. Okay, we're good. Alright, we're going to back up, shoot him. Yeah. The Stray Demon is the second of 3 bosses in this game to use that general monster design, but they do have slight variations. As you can see, it's not maybe super exciting as it would be if I was getting all up in his business, but it is a lot easier to handle when you can see his explosion hitbox more clearly. And this should do it. Boom. Alright, so that makes up a little for the fact that we stumbled a bunch in the catacombs. So he'll drop a humanity and a homeward bone, but you will always get from him a Titanite slab. And a Titanite slab is what you need to max out any normal upgraded weapon at plus 15. So next time, next time we are going to get the means to take our weapons past plus 10, and hopefully in the process get enough Titanite chunks. So I think we've picked up a few, we picked up a few basic Titanite chunks along the way from fighting Black Knights and such. But yeah, so, and that ties that all together, so we now have no reason to come back here anymore. But we do have enough souls to grab one more level before we take off. So let's do that. Let's go back to Firelink Shrine, and then we'll be ready to go for next time. So yeah, you cannot warp to this bonfire, but you can still warp from it. Or you can hop a ride with the crow again by going back to her nest. And we are just going to grab one more level. I'm going to put it in strength because 27 is as high as I want to take my strength because of the nature of two-handing weapons. Because when you hit 27 strength, your effective strength when two-handing a weapon becomes 40, and after 40, the scaling, and it does work this way well two-handing, after 40, the amount of contribution a stat makes to the factors that it increases, such as weapon damage, decreases dramatically. So we're going to stick with 27 strength, and we're going to instead focus on dex, because the claymore does still scale with dexterity as well. But for now, we got to squeeze in that last boss. We took care of the catacombs. We've got one of the Lord's souls and the Rite of Kindling. So Carl's gonna see you guys next time. Whoops.